back to my channel. So this is the first video I'm ever filming in my new beauty room. It's not completely complete. That is why I have not put out a room tour for you, but I just barely started putting up my stuff today, so you can see some stuff is back here. But I will show all of this to you when it's all done, and I'll give you a tour so I can show you where I got things, if I made it, how I made it, and things like that. So today's video, like I promised, is going to be one around makeup. I'm not going to be doing the July favorites because I was just moving and just like packing a lot this month, and so I just had one little makeup bag that I used, and I wasn't really a huge fan of anything I don't know. I just don't want to do a favorite. Instead, this video is going to be all about this new palette from BH Cosmetics. It is the Wild and Radiant palette. And this palette is a palette full of highlighters, and they're baked, and they're so beautiful. If you follow me on Snapchat, it's at Daniela Renee. You should if you don't, because I post swatches on there that I don't post anywhere else, and like video swatches and stuff of things, and I did one of this outside. Oh my gosh, it was so gorgeous. So there's 4 shades. This retails for this much, and you can find this on bhcosmetics.com. They're sold online only, although they do have a pretty sweet Ebates discount thing. So I don't know if you know what Ebates is, but if you just search BH Cosmetics on ebates.com, they have either 7 or 8% cash back, and it's completely legit. They've been doing it for years and years and years. If you haven't heard of it, I'm surprised, because it's just such a verified, solidified company these days. Anyways, you just go through there and you can, whatever your purchase is, you'll get 7 or 8, whatever the percentage is, cash back from BH Cosmetics. And they're one of the only standalone makeup companies that do that, so it's pretty sweet. I'll have a link down below for Ebates. It'll be under my referral links. You can go down there because it's a great way to shop in general. And that's how I got mine, and I was so excited because Caitlin, oh gosh, I don't know how to say her name. I've never had to say it out loud before. I'll put her name here. She is an awesome YouTuber who does tutorials. She does like a lot of rave makeup tutorials and stuff, and like Halloween ones. She's really, really talented at doing really just artistic and dramatic makeup. But I know that she loves BH Cosmetics, and I saw her talking about this, and I was like, well, I need to get it, so I got it. And so I'm gonna do like a quick review on these, and then I'm going to do some swatches and show you like some dupes that I have in my collection. Like I said, this retails for this much on bhcosmetics.com. The back of it here says, go for the glow with our Wild and Radiant Baked Illuminating and Bronzing Palette. Simply swirl on, buff, and blend these highly pigmented, high-impact powders wet or dry. It's important to know that you can use these wet or dry. On face, eyes, and body to warm up skin tone, enhance contours, and highlight features. This palette, I know strobing is a big thing right now. This palette would be excellent just to do that with. And maybe I'll do a strobing tutorial for you. I don't like the look myself, so I wasn't going to because I would never wear it. But if you want, I can do one for you because the bronzers in this palette are incredibly highlighting as well. So you could do a highlight contour, but it would look like strobing. Or I'll show you how I apply them. I apply mine with a BH Cosmetics brush, actually, and this is their number 11, and it is the highlighting brush. It just looks like this, and it's just the perfect for reaching right there. I love this brush. You can also get it on BH Cosmetics. I'll link it down below. I think this wears way longer than you probably would even want it to be honest. Like, it does not melt throughout the day. It gets really hot and humid here in Kentucky, and it does not melt. It does not mess with my foundation. I put it over top of foundation. It does not mess with it. It just doesn't budge all day long. And if anything, it just gets glowier because, you know, your natural oils start coming out throughout the day. I am wearing it today. I don't know if you can tell, but I think this looks amazing. I'm not giving any credit to myself. I'm giving all the credit to this palette because this shine right here is the perfect amount of shine for me. I am in love with it. And I used this one right here in the corner. The one bad thing about this palette is that the 2 highlighting shades are here, and I really find that this one is a little bit almost too like, whoo, like in your face for me to use. So I think I'll probably only ever use this one. Maybe these for like eyeshadows, but probably not for face. So if you had a deeper skin tone, I think this palette would suit you a lot better. That's all I'm saying. But even if you're light skinned like me, this one highlight I feel like is worth it because this palette is so... If it isn't clear, I love this palette and I would 100% recommend that you go out and get it if you don't have it. At least if you're addicted to the whole highlighting and strobing thing. So now I'm going to show you some swatches. None of these have names, they're just in the pan. So I'm going to show you dry swatches and then wet swatches. So this is the top one and this is the kind of more reddish bronze. That's what it looks like when it is dry. So up at the top is dry and the bottom where it's way more shiny is when it's wet. So now I'm gonna move on to the next bronzing shade, which is a more of a orangey shade. So that's dry and that is wet right there. So I'm going to move on to the two highlight shades. I'm gonna do the lightest one first. So that's what the lightest one right there looks like dry. And there's what it looks like wet. The bottom. Alright, last one. This is the other highlight shade. That's what it looks like dry. It's pretty similar to the other one wet. And that's what that one looks like wet. So these are all the highlights. Wet and dry. First and foremost, I'm going to tell you I have no dupes for these bronzing ones because I don't have a large bronzer collection, especially not like shimmery ones like this. So I just don't have any. But I do have quite a few dupes for these two highlight shades. So I'm going to put those down first. Here is a swatch of the two highlight shades in the BH Cosmetics palette. The lighter one and the darker one. So now I'm going to show you the first dupe that I have. I'm actually going to show you this one. And this is the liquid version of this. This is Becca's Opal. And I feel like Becca Opal is pretty similar to the lighter shade in this palette. Now since this is a liquid one, when I put it down here, I'm going to have to smooth it out with my fingers, but I'm going to let it dry a little bit first, so we'll come back to that one. The next two I have are both ColourPop ones. These are the only, I only have four and the other two are really light, so I wanted to swatch it next to these. This one is Wisp, and it is a dupe for the darker shade. Actually, it's like a good mix between the darker shade and the lighter shade. And then I have Cheesecake, which is definitely more peach than the other ones. And the last one I'm going to dupe on my arm is out of this LA Girl Spice palette. And I've talked about this several times. They have a highlight shade over here that is beautiful. I love it. And I found that it was pretty comparable. I have them all on my arm here. So these top two here are from the BH Cosmetics Wild and Radiant palette. This is the lighter color, this is the darker color. This next one down that is clearly the most shiny, this one is Becca Opal and it's in the liquid version. But I think the color looks pretty darn close. What do you think? The next one down right here, that one is ColourPop's Wisp, and it is pretty similar. Like I said, it's a good mix between the two colors in the BH Cosmetics palette. So if you mix those two together, you probably would get this shade. This next one down is ColourPop's Cheesecake, and Cheesecake is definitely sheer, but it's comparable. It's more rosy though. And this bottom one here is from the LA Girl Spice palette. It's the highlight shade out of there, and it is also pretty comparable to these other colors. Highlight shades from the BH Cosmetics palette are way cheaper than the Becca one, that's for sure. And you get more value for your money than the ColourPop ones if you like those two shades. And I feel like they kind of show up more, so I don't know. I'll be posting pictures so that you can see better, but I feel like these all look pretty similar. I have really been happy with this palette. Like I said, it has some wonderful dupage so that I don't feel like I have to go out and get all these other highlighters. It's a great little palette for the price that it is. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It is the first time back in my new beauty room, and I'm trying to figure out how I like things set up. And if you like this background, let me know what you think about this background. It is a pain trying to figure out how to get a background in here. So just let me know what you think. And give this video a thumbs up if you thought it was helpful or interesting of any sort. Subscribe if you have not subscribed already. I'm close to 400 subscribers, and I do a giveaway every 100 subscriber mark. So you want to be there for that. And comment down below if you know of any other highlighters that are dupes for this BH Cosmetics palette, or if you've tried the Wild and Radiant palette and if you liked it or if you didn't like it. Just let me know your thoughts. I love just conversating. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a lovely day. Bye!